Hello and welcome to EDU 505, Trauma and its Impact on Child Development. I am Dr. Sean Emslander and I will be your instructor for this course. A little bit about me. As you will be able to see in our Blackboard page, an instructor bio. I got my doctorate from St. Mary's University in educational leadership. I apologize for the background noise. We are having some flooring done this week, and I have not been able to find a quiet space to record this for you, and I apologize for that. But anyway, my doctorate is in educational leadership. I focused on adult education in prison settings and how different secondary credentials correlated to recidivism rates. I have a master's in teaching and learning, also from St. Mary's, and my undergrad is history and secondary education from Drake University down in Des Moines, Iowa. I look forward to meeting all of you and kind of learning a little bit about you, where you teach, and all of that stuff throughout the first couple of weeks of this course. So as I was saying, welcome. Here in this program, we do things asynchronously, meaning that if you really wanted to, you could work through most of the course right now. I think just about everything is live. But we want to do deep dives. We don't want to just brush over the top of everything. You're going to see deep dives and andragogy everywhere in this program. So one of the things that you're going to want to try to do is get very, very comfortable with Blackboard. I'm sorry that I've still been working on our Blackboard site, which you can see here this week. The course shells get loaded for us, for the professors, and this one wasn't actually live until, I want to say, this Tuesday. So usually we have it a couple weeks ago. So if you see something that you don't think is correct, like somebody already had messaged me saying they couldn't find the syllabus, it was because I had loaded it in and it was hidden from students instead of visible. So if you're looking for the syllabus, it's on the home page under syllabus. It is visible now. I apologize for that. Speaking of the syllabus, please review it. Go through it. Let me know if you have any questions. You can reach out to me. The best way is going to be via email. I will always respond within 24 hours. If you send a Blackboard message, I cannot guarantee it that I will see it the same day. So I recommend emails over Blackboard messages. A note on emails, I do work in a prison, so I don't have access to my CSP email during my work hours, which are generally around 7 to 3:30 or so, but I do respond as soon as I see them after that. Thank you for being here, and I believe that every one of you can do this. So let's take a peek at that syllabus. Just want to highlight a couple of things. It has your course learning outcomes and the program learning outcomes listed for you. But what I wanted to point out is that discussion board stuff. You will be expected to have your initial responses in Thursdays, rather than to respond to your peers by the end of the day, Saturday. Please, please, please make sure you don't miss that Thursday deadline. And if you can post earlier, that's even better, as that gives your peers time to, read and respond to what you've said. On average, you're probably going to be looking at 2 to 3 discussion boards per week. And that does not include responding to your teacher's intro video. Secondly, you will have 4 written assignments, weeks 2, 4, 6, and 8. Your first assignment here will be a self-reflection, and you will be writing in first person. Important note on all assignments, they will be described in Blackboard and the syllabus. Make sure you check the syllabus for the official rules. Blackboard should be correct, but every once in a while there are some typos or changes in there that are not right. If you notice any discrepancies, please email me and I will let you know which one is right, and then I will fix the one that's wrong and let everybody else know as well. It does happen every once in a while. Then the grading scale, this will be the same throughout the entire program. Next, how I will be giving you feedback. I started doing this spring of last year. I send out this rubric every week to each of you. And that'll show you what you got on the discussion board. If I have any concerns, it'll be underneath it. I will type out my, things to improve. One of the things that I'll be focusing on a lot, as this is the first class, is APA. Just because that is very important. And if you can get mastery of it quickly, that'll help you a lot throughout the program. When you do assignments, I will also send you that rubric with all of my comments attached. I, generally speaking, do not send back a redlined copy of your initial assignment. Again, I apologize for the noise. I am trying to pause when that is happening. Also, please note that this specific class is very reading intensive. Looking at the first 4 weeks, there's usually 5 to 7 readings per week. Sometimes there are also videos. When I know there are videos, I will try to keep my video a little bit shorter, but the expectation for me, for my program chair, is that these videos are roughly 12 to 20 minutes long. So if I know that you guys are going to have a lot of other stuff going on, I will try to keep it closer to that 12 and 20. Late submissions. If something comes up and you can't get something in on time, please email me ahead of time and ask for an extension. If you ask for an extension, I can almost always work with you. If you don't let me know, there's not much I can do. And lastly, we don't do extra credit. Again. All right, so for week 1, our focus is child development, a general introduction and overview. So what you should do this week is carefully read through the syllabus and just take note of those learning objectives and program outcomes that I highlighted. You should be watching this video, and then you're going to complete your discussion boards. There is a response to this video, 3 discussion board activities on the required readings. There's required and supplemental. To find those, you will go to our course. You'll go to the course reading list. When you click on it, make sure that you're logged in with your CSP email, and it'll open up all of the readings for you. Drop them down. You should be able to access all of them right from here. All right, in discussion boards, I already mentioned the first responses for each of them is due Thursday at midnight, and your responses to your peers are due Saturday at midnight. Make sure that you use and cite course readings. They are 20 points per week for 140 points total for the entire course. In some cases, it may be noted that you don't need to respond to peers, but if you don't see that, assume that you do. To get to discussions in Blackboard, you'll go to discussions, and each week will be there. You'll see that this one includes the instructor opening remarks. That's under everyone. Once I have recorded this video, I will make it visible to you guys. I will be trying to record these Fridays or Saturdays so that I can also kind of go over the general feedback of the discussion boards, any key ideas that came out. I just showed you that. We discussed the larger assignments as well. I am so sorry. They are currently cutting the baseboards. Assignments 1, 2, and 3 are due on Saturdays. Sorry, that should say PM, but of weeks 2, 4, and 6. And assignment 4, please note, that is due Monday of week 8. Week 8 is a short week. You don't have any discussion boards or any readings. The only thing due in week 8 is that final assignment. And you will find that that theme kind of runs through most of the courses in the program. Week 7 will be your final week of readings and discussion boards, and week 8 will be turning in any final projects. Especially on these assignments, since this is one of the first courses, I will be giving a lot of feedback on structure, organization, and APA. But at least for the first couple assignments, I will not be docking points for APA. I will be giving feedback and instructions. However, if I've already given you feedback and instructions on APA and you don't fix it, that's when I will have to dock some points. But it's a big learning curve if you've never used it before. But this part is big. Make sure that you review the syllabus and the rubrics for each of those assignments, preferably this first week, and start thinking about those for when you're doing your readings. What is going to be relevant information, and come up with a note-taking system. A good way to do that is an annotated bibliography. If you haven't done one of those before, effectively you're writing down the reference and then a paragraph summary of what you learned from it. So then at a later date, you can look at those paragraphs and be like, this one, let's go back and review it, and you'll be able to find your sources more quickly. So just a couple of closing thoughts on how to be successful both in Blackboard and with the program. Learn APA. And I think the best way to do that is to actually buy a physical copy of the APA manual. I recommend going to a bookstore somewhere to get this, or being very careful if you're ordering it online. And the reason I say that is that there are a surprising number of counterfeit APA manuals. And in my doctoral program, I actually ended up with one of them for the 6th edition, that I ended up giving to the English professor because she really wanted it, because she didn't think that there was such a thing. But now that I have had to order my own 7th edition manual on Amazon, I did actually find that probably 3 of the 4 first listings were counterfeit productions. So make sure that you are careful when you buy one, but I do very much recommend getting a physical copy, as that will help you enormously throughout the entire program. I also recommend finding a way to schedule out your semesters from the very beginning and trying to stick to it as much as possible. Most of the Blackboard pages will show you everything you need for the entire semester. Much like our reading list, you can see that there are some weeks that are a little bit lighter. There's a couple of 4s, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily short. It just means that there are less readings. They could be longer readings, but take the time to look at those so you know when you need to read ahead or set aside additional time for readings or videos. If something comes up in your personal life, your work life, communicate with your professors. We're here to help you, and we very much understand that, life happens and that may make the program take a back seat. Just make sure you communicate with us. And lastly, if you're confused or have questions, please ask me. You may have noticed something that others are struggling with, or that's a mistake on my end, or it's possibly just needed explained in a new way. All of those are perfectly okay. Somebody noticed that the syllabus wasn't there. I wouldn't have noticed if nobody had asked, and you would all be sitting there not having the syllabus in your hands right now. So I very much appreciate when you guys find an error in Blackboard. Please come to me right away. Let me know. It's not the easiest system to work in from my end, and I do make mistakes every once in a while. So if you notice something that seems a little strange, let me know. If the assignment's not making sense to you, ask me. I might be able to explain it in a new way. I look forward to working with you, and have a great first week.